What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talk. It's your boy, Stan, man. Coming to you with another great conversation piece on today. And before we get started, I want to thank you for joining me here on RMT. On today, we're going to talk about built, not broken. Today, we're going to talk about built, not broken. Some of y'all have been through hell and high water. Life tried to break you, but you're still here, breathing and building. And God uses that pain for preparation and not punishment. See, we think that because something is broken, that you can't use it anymore. That's not the case. That's what the world wants you to think. But have you ever heard the terms groundbreaking? We finna break the ground when it's a major building or anytime a major corporation is moving into an area and they buy land and they want to build, they'll say they breaking the ground. It's groundbreaking. And so they are building a foundation there for their business or to get established there. And sometimes on a foundation, you have to either dig up some dirt or bring in some dirt to be able to level it off to make sure that whatever you put on that foundation is sturdy and you don't have to worry about the building falling over or collapsing. So sometimes when we think about being broken, we think about the negative things, but sometimes breaking certain things down in order to get a solid foundation so you can start to build up. And sometimes we go through life and we go through so many situations that we feel like, man, I'm too broken. It's too many pieces. It's too many pieces that have you ever saw glass get shattered and it breaks into little bitty pieces and you'd be like, there's no way I can put this back together. But I'm gonna tell you right now that God, He don't make trash, He make testimonies. And that's one thing that He's doing with you right now, where you can see so many pieces that's broken in your life that you think you could never get it back together. You think I could never be who I used to be. But sometimes you might not need to be what you used to be. That's why those pieces were broken. So now those pieces, now you can use that and make something different, make a better masterpiece than what it was before. And see, sometimes we let the enemy whisper different things in our ear, like you'll never be whole again. You'll never be what you used to be because of all those pieces that are broken. But let me tell you something. You will be. But if we start to listen to those voices that keep us moping around in life, if we start to listen to those voices that keep us down and depressed, I'm not saying let me get this correct. I'm not telling you that if something happened that you don't need time to process it. Yeah, you do need time to process it. But I'm saying don't lay there and continue to be there after process it, after you got over it, you want to stay in to become a victim of that situation. Don't do that. And that what the enemy want to tell us and want us to believe that we could never be whole again. We can never be who we used to be. But I'm here to tell you that you can be even better. So I got this one I got this one scripture that I want to read to you. It's coming from 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. And it says, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. My power is made perfect in weakness. And if we being honest with each other, yeah, we family on here, right? If we being honest with each other, when we think of weakness, we think of something that we got to get rid of. That's something that we got to hide from other people, right? Is that weakness. And I'm not saying you reveal your weakness to everybody and tell them. No, you tell God about it. It's no discussion that you got to have to everybody else. You let Him know about it so He can help you in those areas. See, we think that we should never have any weakness. Everything in our life should be on point. It shouldn't be no spots. If we didn't never need any help, if we never had any spots, would you have an ego to the point that you think that, well, I don't need God? what I'm asking them for. I got good health, I got money, family good, kids good, my business good, my job good. Everything is going well. So why do I need him? We will put ourselves within that mind frame. And sometimes, not all the time, you need that weakness to keep you humble, to keep you want to seek God, to keep you to ask for his help. Because no matter what you go into or no matter what you want to do, it's going to be a weak area when you get into that field. You're going to be weak at something. Absolutely. You're going to be weak at something, I can guarantee you. It's something that you're not going to be able to do. And you're going to need some help. And that's where God come in at. And see, that's right, yeah. Your weakness is not a flaw. Your weakness is a feature. Have you ever like uh, played a video game and like I was big. I'm gonna age myself a little bit. I was big on fighting games. So you had Mortal Kombat, you had Killer Instincts, you had Street Fighter. You had those different, but there was certain players people didn't like to fight with because they was considered weak because their moves was a little bit harder to do. Cause I know in Mortal Kombat everybody want to fight with Liu Kang, cause it was a little bit easier to fight with him. His moves was a little bit easier to learn. Some people didn't like to fight with Jax. Jax had the metal arms. He didn't do a lot of kick moves, but once you learn that that weak character had certain features or had certain abilities that the other people didn't have, and his punches was more powerful and took more energy away, then you'd be like, oh yeah, I want to use them. But you won't know that until you consider that weakness is one of the features that you have unlocked in your life. That now I can learn and grow from this. And sometimes when it comes in that, and if we're gonna be real, a lot of us got a lot of scars in our life from different things that happened to us. Might have been a father walked out your life. Might have been a mother walked out your life. Might be from a divorce. It might be from a failed dream, a failed business, different things that you went out there and it just didn't happen the way that you wanted to happen. Those scars don't mean that you're broken. Those scars mean that you survived. Those a lot of times are just what you call war wounds, different things that you know went through that it starts to build character and starts to build different skills that you didn't know you had because you had to go through certain things. And those scars show. Sometimes it's physical scars, and sometimes it's the scars that can't nobody see. It's the scars on our heart, it's the scars on our mind that a lot of people can't see, and those are the ones that hurt the most. And when when he starts to take those scars and starts to build you from it, you have to understand that it's a process of having those. Um, it's a process of having those battle wounds, having those war wounds. Yeah, that's a better term. It's a better. It's a different experience when you have those war wounds, and you go. But if you internalize that and start to make that your crutch, you will start moping around and being bitter about life if you take those scars and don't build and learn from it. And one thing that he takes to teach us and learn is he take us through the fire. He take us through the fire to help us learn and build character, right? So um, think about this. Think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It's over in Daniel 3 if y'all want to read the story. But he took them through the fire. They came out the furnace and they ain't even smell like smoke. And they ain't even smell like. And when he took them through it and they came out, they ain't even smell like smoke. But see, here's the thing. A lot of times we want to walk around the fire. We want to walk over the fire. Even if we can walk under the fire, we'll do that. But we don't want to walk through the fire. He takes us through the fire in order to mend and mold us into what we need to be to face the next level that we're going to. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: when somebody is making like a sword, you're making a sword. They constantly gotta put it in the fire, gotta beat it, mold it, file it, put it back through the fire to get it to the sharpness and the precision that they want it to be in. But if they just dipped it in the fire one time and they shaped it and molded, it might not be exactly what they want it to be. But if they want that precision and a nice cut with their sword, they continue to put it in the fire and mold it so it can be able to, so they can be able to use it the way that they want to when they go into war or when they go to the next level. And so that's how the fire is shaping us. See, the fire might burn a little something off. It might burn off your old friends, might burn off your old habits. It might burn off some of the things that might be holding you back. And we don't want to go through that process because it's hot in the fire. It's hot in there. And we thinking we go through this, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that. And we don't want to go through that. And I understand that. I'm not saying that I like to do it, but I understand that it's something that you can go through, right? And so with me understanding that, I know that this is the process I got to go through. And see what he's doing, he's building resilience, he's building character, and he's building leadership within you while you're going through that fire. But while we're going through it, even though it might be frustrating, we have to understand that on the other side, it's going to make us better. The reason we gotta understand that it's gonna make us better. The reason we gotta understand that it's gonna make us better, because, like I said, we're built and not broken. And one thing about being built and not broken is that when you're building something up, you gotta have a blueprint. You gotta have a blueprint, right? You gotta have a blueprint, right? And God's blueprint is better than our plan. And I know I said this in plenty of my podcasts before, but if you want to see God laugh, make plans, right? So he's the ultimate blueprint planner. He's ultimate at setting up a blueprint. So since he's the blueprint planner, since he's the one that builds the blueprint, let me tell you this. Let me read this scripture real quick. It comes from Jeremiah 29 and 11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. You may not like the chapter that you're in right now, but it's part of a bigger book. God is crafting God is crafting legacy and not just recovery. Just think about Joseph for a second. He was sold, lied on, he was in prison. He ended up being second in command in Egypt. But he had to go through all that in order to get to where he ultimately belonged. So, do you think that if Joseph didn't go through the things that he went through, that he would be where he at? Do you think that you can just not go through anything and learn everything that you need to know when you get to a point and when you start being successful? Do you think that? And then right here, I also got this wrote down in my notes. Real men build. They build trust. They build family. They build faith. You don't need a mansion to be a man. You need integrity. And I know that you're going to get tired. Man, there been days I've been there too. I'm not going to lie, like every day I wake up and I'm on fire and I'm at it and I'm trying to get it. I'm not going to say that. You know, I'd be lying to you if I said every day I got up and I was ready to go, run through life. Some days I'd be like, man, I want to do this. I want to quit. That's it. You know? But let me read this right here to you. It's going to be Galatians 6 and 9. And it says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, For in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Don't give up before your breakthrough. Don't give up. It's right around the corner. We think like, a lot of times that it's gonna be we done did wrong for so long, and then when we start to do the right thing, we expect things to happen fast because we're doing it right now. But just think about this. You've been doing wrong for the last, what, just say 15 years? So you've been doing wrong for 15 years. Then when you start to do right, all of a sudden, now, 6 months, everything's supposed to fall together for you. It don't work like that. You got to give it time. You got to be able to understand when certain things come across your path, you be able to understand it, and you'll be able to process it better because of the things that you have went through. And so now that you get those things, you'll be able to keep those things because out of experience, you understand now that this is what I got to do. And if you don't go through certain things, you ain't going to be able to understand, hey, this is what I got to do to keep the house. Got to keep my credit. I got to make these payments. I got to keep insurance. You might not understand that. You might not understand how to run that business if you might have did something and have lost things and you don't realize how to keep it. You might have lost a business before. Might have lost a job before. But you understand now how I need to keep it. And this is the thing, man. I want you to say, I'm tired, but I'm still standing. And I'm built, not broken. All right? So, even on today, I ask you, man, make that phone call to that child that you haven't talked to in a while, right? I said, make that phone call to that child you haven't spoke to in a while. Start that business up that you plan on starting. Go join that men's group. Go ahead and get that gym membership. Whatever it is, go out there and do it. Pray again, trust again, lead again. Because sometimes heartache can keep you from being that person that you originally wanted to be. And I want to read this last. I want to leave you with this last scripture, right? Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it out." No, Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began good work, he who Philippians 1:6 says, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." So don't think that God will start anything that he's not going to help you complete. I'm talking about God, not yourself, not talking about the completion of anything that you start that's led by him. He's not going to lead you in a place and leave you out there. He's going to cover you in whatever situation that you go through. He's going to protect you. He's going to watch over you. He's going to make sure that thing comes to completion. He's the builder that never walks away from a project. You got a lot of contractors that'll start a project and they don't get their money, they're gone. Got a lot of contractors that shady, or they get the money and they gone. Or you get some contractors, the person that they building for run out of money and they got to come back when they get some more money to finish it up. But when he starts a project, he's going to stay with that project until the completion, because he got the patience and he got the grace, because he wants to see you succeed. Listen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all want to get at me socially, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Stanley Nash Jr. Also, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Real Man Talk Podcast. If there's anyone you want to see come on here, hit me on the inbox or drop it in the comments on here. Also, if there's anything you want to hear me speak about, drop it in the comments or hit me in the inbox on any of those social media platforms. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace. I'm out.